Tribe and family, trickle in. Now, today's live is going to be up to you, as we did have a few people vote in our Patreon, Blue Rose Mystery School, what it is that we're going to be chatting about today. And I wanted to leave it up to you, as they had a few ideas. So whenever you're watching this, it can be for you. We're also going to be doing a tarot reading today for the chosen ones. As always, we get in a little bit of a spiritual bestie chat, a mystery school teaching, and then a little bit of a tarot reading. So as always, just take in a deep breath and connect with that inner source to see what parts of this reading may be for you. We got a little bit of the Temple of Hathor coming through today. Now, I'm leaving it up to all of you. So we're going to start the Soul Tribe chat as soon as a few people start commenting and coming into the chat. Are we talking today about energy transfer? So are we talking about how to kind of prevent, energy transfer? How can we have boundaries to not take on anyone else's energy? Or are we going to be talking about soul contracts? So put it in the comments below. Put in the comments below what you want the chat to be about today. As soon as I get 5 comments for either subject, energy transfer, how do we avoid taking on someone else's energy, right? How do we maintain our own energy? Or soul contracts, put it in the comments below. Whichever topic gets to 5 first, that's the one that we're going to talk about today. I'm leaving it up to you today. Patreon had a few different ideas. Good morning, morning, good morning. Say good morning to me. Say good morning to your neighbor in the box below. Hello, hello, hello. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you got in those prayers today, wherever you are, because somewhere in the world it is nighttime. I like that. Okay, vote 1. I'm going to write it down to maintaining your own energy. Oh, and we have soul contracts, 2 different ones. When we get to 5 for whichever one wins, so we're either going to talk about today soul contracts. So what are soul contracts? How do we navigate them? How can we determine if something is a soul contract? Or we're going to be talking about energy transfer today. How can we avoid energy transfer and not taking on someone else's energy, as well as just maintaining our own? I like that. We got 2 for energy transfer. Oh, now we got 3. All right. As always, $10 mini readings is open. You can Cash App or PayPal. Is it the same one? No, not Cash App. Cash App is Divine Goddess Energy. Yeah, Divine Goddess Energy. And then we have PayPal. No, that's Venmo. Sorry. Venmo's Divine Goddess Energy, Cash App, and PayPal. It is the same one. Goddess Energy 444. All right. All of those, though, are in the description boxes below. All right. Put in the comments below. I'm letting you choose the topic today. I'm taking care of someone's bird. If the chirp is sounding different than the other bird, it's because I have a cockatiel in my house now. For those of you who've been watching me for 5 years, only once it was a cat. It's never cats and dogs. It's like lizard, a snake, a bird pops up in my house out of nowhere. So I have a cockatiel. If the chirp is sounding a little bit different, that's because it is. Someone had to get rid of, not getting rid of them, but they had to give away all of their birds. And one of them was a cockatiel. And here's just me, the person who takes all the exotic animals. All right. I hope you guys get all of your manifestations, guys and girls and gals, get all of your manifestations. 2026 is the year of the co-creator. The year of 9. This was the year of I'm getting ready, right? We were singing that in 2024. Towards the end, I'm getting ready. And really, year 9 was getting ready. So I'm also going to see in the comments below which one won. Was it the topic of soul contracts or the topic of energy transfer? And we're going to dive into a mystery school teaching today. Then we're going to do a fun reading for the chosen ones afterwards. And 144K light workers, all of you out there. But yeah, year 9 was the year of getting ready for year 10, and December of last year. So this time last year, I always share like a kind of prophetic message for the year coming. And I've just noticed, I may say it sometimes with humor or serious, but it always ends up like happening, right? Or happening in some way, shape, or form. The year of 9 was 10 years in 1. I said that December of last year. I kind of even ate my own words. We're back in September. something happened or was happening where I'm like, whoa, I thought this was going to happen 10 years from now. And then I was like, oh, I said that December 2024. So get ready. Okay, because 2026 is the year of the co-creator. You slithered like a snake in the year of 9, taking your time, coming more into the feminine energy, right? Shedding our skin of authenticity to step into the horse, which just chariot card moves forward. So let's see. So far we have 3 for energy transfer. I think energy transfer is just going to work. It's just going to work. Maybe it's just going to work. I'm reading this comment at the same time that she just started working with troubled teens. Yeah. And in that type of environment, it's anywhere, right? If we're energetically sensitive, I know even for me, I don't go out into like crowds and things like that. I like restaurants. I like to eat. I don't look like it. Nobody believes me, but I do like to eat. Energy transfer. Energy transfer 1. There you go. All right, so we got 5 for energy transfer. We're going to be talking about how to maintain your own energy and how to prevent energy transfer. Wow, here. Greetings to Serbia, Europe. This is beautiful. About what is this channel, Tarot? And I love your name, Dragon. I love the Dragon realm and the Seraphim. So this channel, Blue Rose, 144 Blue Rose Temple, it focuses on mystery school teachings and wisdom consciousness. For Pisces, I started off reading just Pisces many years ago. I also have a lot of Pisces in my chart. We also just read for all signs. So if you are here as a soul and you just feel like your soul is ancient, 144 Blue Rose Temple is here to share space with you and for us to all hold each other's hands and walk each other home. But the Blue Rose Temple, for me, it's not just a random name. It's the cosmic blue ray of light. So the Blue Rose Order, the Blue Rose Temples, the cosmic blue ray of light. Galactic has no religion, So if you are an ancient soul and you just feel like you've been here before, this is the space for you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And, I'm so thankful for my, what I call mystery school community. All right, life is the mystery school, and some of us are on a path of, say, high priest or priestess. Some people are self-initiated. Some, and I will say everybody is a high priest or priestess, where life is the mystery school. And if we are taking the initiations of life, right, and that's like the duality. So the heartbreaks, when that happens, when this happens, you can always thrive and alchemize it to higher. And those are just my teachings. Maybe I am like an initiated high priestess, but also you don't necessarily have to be. We can all hack this matrix, all of us, and life is initiating all of us all the time. But it's up to us to see it from the mystery school mind perspective. So I focus on consciousness here. You can join me as high priest or priestess. You don't have to. You could be self-initiated, whoever you are, whatever you are. You are welcome here. I think my boss is trying to, oh my gosh, but I hope I'm wrong. Law of assumption. Assume that they're not, or assume that it's not going to hold any power, especially if it's like, what's it called? If it comes with like ill intentions, negativity, that holds no power over you. Everything's intention. So if someone's like, oh, I don't want them to work there anymore, but say that's actually in your soul mission and destiny, holds no power over you. And again, that law of mentalism, just staying in that belief, that truth of yours. I'm meant to be here and my energy is not shifting. All right. Oh my gosh. Would anyone like to be a moderator today? If you would like to be a moderator, feel free to put a rose in the comments below. I'm going through all of the comments here. We're going to be starting our chat on energy transfer. Feel free to put all of your questions on energy transfer in the comments below, how to maintain your own energy. If you have anything to say to share with anyone, I will read it out loud. Any channel members here, I'm going to shout you out as well. Hello, Tiana Lay. Your light shines through right into the heart space and you shine into mine. Tiana, it's been many years. Blessings, soul sister. Greetings and peace. Yesterday struck clean, dialing in for today. Oh my Jesus Christ, these comments. If anyone wants to be a moderator, feel free to put a rose in the comments below. You made it! Woo woo! Hello, Robin! We made it! No weapons formed against us shall prosper. So be it. And that is part of it, of not allowing anyone to infiltrate your energy. I'm a sponge when it comes to people's energies. Yes, that is why we have the talk today. All right, awesome. I got through almost all of the comments here. So feel free to put it in the comments below, any specific questions that you may have on energy transfer, how to maintain your own energy, how to protect your energy. A lot of it, and I almost want to call this how to create an un-F-withable, because it's been coming out in the Pisces readings. How do we create an un-F-withable energetic field? It's not to say that you're perfect, right? So it's not to say that things are perfect. Nothing's ever going to happen to you with this or that. And it is kind of having that mindset, right? With the balance. Christ is the King and the Lord. I love Jesus Christ so much. The thought that they came, you know, I just can't hide my face, right? Just the thought that came through. Should I even repeat it? I was like, Jesus Christ, let's talk about having a stronger energetic field. Because whatever happened there, let's just talk. He let it happen, by the way. He let it happen because he probably had a lot of other decisions, but he was like, nope, this is karmic fate. That would be an example of karmic fate, that persecution there, where it was fate. It was kind of karmic, you know, and led to the resurrection. So it was meant to happen. But yeah, having an un-F-withable energetic field. How do we do that? One, I would say it's feeling safe. Like feeling safe in our energetic field. And we spoke of the law of mentalism. I believe it was yesterday or the day before, but I believe it was yesterday. It may not be. Law of mentalism is you have to believe it, you know, and that's like the core, I think, of everything that we do is feeling safe. And that's going to also, that's just going to be the core again, like foundation of having an energetic field that's un-F-withable, is nothing within you is causing the effery, right? Where, yeah, those people are always going to exist without of you. There's always going to be someone that has a role to play. There's always going to be non-playing characters, right? Or the role that they have to play in your life where like they are the Judas, they are the this, they are the that. Or just in general, right? That we can't control anything. So even as a light worker, even as someone who is in the light, it would be manipulative to think that we can control everyone and everything. That's still manipulation. Controlling outside is manipulation. When we control ourselves, you know, that is just controlling yourself. You know, and so even a light worker looking at the world and saying, all of you need to wake up and you all need to do this and that. Nobody needs to do anything. And that's us wanting to, as a light worker, again, this is just giving like that other mirror reflection or side, that shadow integration of the world is not necessarily going to bow down to us, right? And there's things that exist in the world. And so it's approaching it with no fear, playing the observer. And that's what even just what I do in my life when it comes to energy transfer. For the most part, I don't deal with it too much, not too much at all. Where a lot of it more for me is the mind, and I do daily cleansings and things like that. You know, like that Pisces North Node, how do we avoid energy transfer? Be proactive, not reactive. So don't cleanse your energy and protect your energy once energy's already got in. It already got in. Being proactive though, right? With that North Node in Pisces, it's asking everyone, it's illuminating to all of us, hey, yes, Virgo, practical daily routine. It's important that we have some sort of spiritual routine as well. And maybe for you, it is praying. You know, maybe for you, it is doing incense every morning, cleansing your house every morning. But as far as avoiding energy transfer, first step is just feeling safe within ourselves, right? So that we're not even attracting. I see that also happen all the time. There are people that are addicted and don't even realize it to the chaos, and they don't think that they are. The chaos, the spiritual attacks, the this, the that. I'm a chosen one and I'm always spiritually attacked. Let's even just step out like that. I mean, we all know, right? Like that, God's strongest warriors. But it's also in the mind. That may be true about chosen ones, but I'm not. I am absolutely not playing out that story. I'm a chosen one and I'm constantly the hero and I'm constantly being attacked. Part of it is actually just coming out of that chaotic karmic wheel, right? Of chaos. We don't want to attract chaos. And so it's like, again, in the mind, not tethering to that negative energy or to chaotic energy. I'm not tethering to chaos of like, I'm being attacked and these people want to attack me and this and that. It may be true, but that's not true in my reality. Law of mentalism. Like whoever attacks me, you are attacking yourself. You are wrestling with God, you know. Hello, Mo. Thank you for being here. Feel free to put in the comments below if you have any questions on energy transfer, any stories of energy transfer. I'm sure we all have so many. Observe, not absorb. Yes, exactly. As far as energy transfer, people are talking about absorbing energy. Play the observer, don't absorb. And that is exactly what I do, where I learned a lot of this from a maestro that traveled the world serving plant medicine. And so I did go through apprenticeship for 3 to 4 years of shamanism. And I would work for free, but I would learn from him. I would serve with him and apprentice with him. And that's one thing he taught me. He was a Shiva master. I'll tell you that. That man, he won't even touch you. And he doesn't have social media. None of you are ever going to be able to find that man. If you need his contact, I can tell you. But that man is a Shiva. Where, like, I remember one time in ceremony, I couldn't even speak to him. Like, how do you just make the whole ceremony happen with your mind? Where, yes, he uses the tools, but that man does not need the tools. That man is a fully embodied in what he does. But I'm very thankful that I got to learn with him for almost 5 years, where he taught me in the mind, and more with shamanism, right? Where you're dealing with entities and this and that. How do we go in and come out unscathed, untouched? Most of it is the mind. So that's still where the law of mentalism comes in with energy transfer, where you really have to have that mindset of, if it's not my energy, you are not coming into my energetic field, and believing that. You know, it's all of our birthrights to have a sovereign energetic field. And so that's just another thing to come home to. Whoa, actually, it's my birthright to maintain my energetic field and to keep it in alignment with, say, God's will, my own energy, whatever it may be. And so, rightfully so, no energy should be coming in, right? There are ways that we can give consent, known or unknown, right? And so sometimes we give consent without realizing it. Sometimes the consent, let me actually read some of the comments over here. So you're saying to have a positive perspective. To a certain degree, yeah. You know, to a certain degree, it's having a positive perspective, but it's also owning the shadow of, it's like that Shiva, right? Just the observer. You cannot enter my energetic field, you know, and how do I do, you know, like an animal standoff where they just stare each other in the eyes until one leaves? It's kind of like that. It's kind of owning that shadow, and like that shadow integration, the sacred, holy boundary of, I don't care who you are, what energy, what entity, you're not coming into my energetic field, and I'm going to stare at you until you go that way, you know. But it's adopting that, of course, like in the mind, of course, unless you could see these entities and you do that, you know, and things like that, you stare them in the eyes. But it's kind of like that, you know, it's like owning your birthright, which your birthright by God is to own, you know, to have a sovereign energetic field. And the highest truth is nothing that's not of your soul destiny, of your own energy, is meant to come into your energetic field. So it's like clearing out the shadow of, oh, wait a second, I have the right to maintain my energetic field. I have the right to uphold that, you know, and if someone steps over that boundary, then that's on them. You know, it's like creating that energetic field where it just bounces right off, you know, and again, like not perfect, right? But how do we start to, or have an uneffable energetic field? Let's see, I'm reading the comments over here. If you did acquire someone's energy, how do you rid yourself of it? Yeah, so you can do an energetic cleansing, a prayer. Baths are always good. Oh, doing those baths are really good to cleanse to cleanse rather. The element of fire is really good too. Or even if it's just, say, writing it out, incense, right? That's the elements of, you could use all elements, right? All elements can be used. We have water, fire, air. One thing that can help is like, say, Palo Santo. You can cleanse and clear your energetic field. Say you come home from a long day of work. You could cleanse you get the Palo Santo, and you could go, from all the way down. And that's probably the best way is the crown, then all the way down, or however cold. And you say affirmations such as, I release any and all energy that does not belong to me from my energetic field. Any and all energies, attachments, cords that do not belong to me or that simply do not serve me from my energetic field now. And it's commanding, and so now you must go. But again, the law of mentalism, it's believing that you have that birthright, believing that you have that sovereignty. I'm telling this energy to go. This is my energetic field. That's not my energy. And it really is with love, it's not like, oh, you got to get out of here and I banish you. That's not some crazy energy. But for the most part, you really don't have to even of like, oh, you got to go and I banish you and all these different things, and maybe that's why I have Hathor here. Goddess Isis, even Hathor, just, you have to leave and you can't come back. And they go. And it's believing that you have that command, that authority, and that power as a light being, which you do. And again, with love and with light, releasing all energy that doesn't belong to you. You could do that even daily, especially if you absorb a lot of energy. You can do that daily in the shower. And that's something that I do, is I thank the Holy Spirit of water. So I give thanks to the Holy Spirit of water. And you could imagine all of your energetic fields just with water. And you could also get herbs. You could get herbal soap. They even have Florida water soap that you could do as well. And, you imagine the water coming down, and you could imagine it as liquid light, and imagine it just fully dissolving any and all energy that doesn't belong to you. So that's a practical daily spiritual routine. And, taking a shower, that should be a practical daily routine too, but you can make those daily routines spiritual too, especially for those who don't have a lot of time, who work a lot. That spirit of water is an element that can cleanse energy from your energetic field. Again, like I said in the beginning, being proactive to maintaining your energetic field rather than reactive. If the energy is already in, it's already in. And now you got to cleanse and clear. Things are imbalanced. Things are happening, or you can be proactive and have a daily way of maintaining your energetic field. Again, especially for those who are very sensitive. I'm someone that you would have thought that I had like social anxiety years ago, but it really was that I'm so sensitive to energy. I feel everything. Again, for me, it was more of the apprentice work I did with that shaman that really helped me of, he said, I go on planes right after a thing. Nothing comes with me. And so he really helped me in training my mind more than anything. And then we use the tools too. But most of it is the law of mentalism, feeling safe and knowing that your energetic field is your own, and then it's just practicing that every day. Like, this is my energetic field. This is a gift from God, and it's not an unholy thing to maintain your energetic field. Part of it, of avoiding energy transfer, is also knowing thyself. How do you usually feel, right? And for me, I'm getting a message too at the same time. Say, for example, right, I'm someone that I've accepted all parts, like, say, of my body. I've lost a lot of weight. I've gained a lot of weight. I've almost died a lot of times. My body does what it does. I accept it in all of its seasons. There was one time where, after being with someone, all these thoughts about myself was coming through. I'm like, no, that's not me. I don't think that way about myself at all. At all. I've been through a lot with my body and this and that. I do not think that way. Turns out that's what they were thinking and saying about my physical appearance, right? And so it's also knowing thyself, right? Of like, how do I think about myself? How do I think about my life, right? Say like you love your life, or you're just someone who's mostly positive. Then all of a sudden things are weird or this or that, kind of, and we all go through seasons and cycles, right, of emotions, but you could tell when like it's just not your own energy, evil eye, things like that. And so part of energy transfer is just knowing thyself, to like know what's your energy, what's not of your own. But it's truly believing that no energy can get in or can stay in, because even if it came in, you gotta go, because it's not without your own consent or authority. And so it's owning your spiritual authority and also consent, where something or someone needs your soul consent. And that's maybe where soul contracts come in, that sometimes we do have a soul contract of like spiritual attacks and entities, right? Where it's more karmic fate that you got attacked in that way to gain the authority of that thing, that soul lesson, the entity, the whatever it may be. Yes, daily routines and rituals. Prayer is so important. Hello, Angie. Thank you for being here. Happy Wednesday. Wednesday for me, it's Mercury Day. So today's Mercury Day. Wednesday is like a buffer day. So it's like the occult. Occult is wisdom, hidden wisdom. This is an esoteric channel. I'll tell you that one. If she ever let you, I know that she would take care of you. If who ever let me, someone would take care of me. If she ever let you, I know she would take care of you. Okay. Oh, I like that. I was actually just giving my own therapist advice of energy transfer, where I have a spiritual one. I've had one for you this whole time. I've had one for years, where I'm not someone that is, spiritual light work, and I'm going to deny everything else in the world. Sometimes you don't need the tarot reading. You don't need this. You don't need that. You just need to talk to someone, or this or that. So I actually give my therapist astrology tips, and I help her with her energy and things like that. So how do we deal with energy transfer? Yeah, massage that, because you're touching people, right? And so I would say like cleansing your energy, but also like having those firm energetic boundaries. And so before going into a session, and this is something that I do as well, is I imagine like a bubble or pillars of light in the north of me, the east of me, the south of me, which it actually is east, south of where I am right now, west, north. And so I do imagine like a pillar of light. And again, Blue Rose Temple, I work a lot with the blue, gold, and diamond rays of light. And you imagine those rays of light, you can imagine a pillar around you, a bubble, and then go into the session and cleanse and clear your energy. Speaking of energy transfer, I had one where this was where you could see it in real life, the energetic bubble I created. There was a man following me. Now, I wasn't even dressed a particular way. I was dressed in a coat. This was 2 years ago in fall, winter. I went hiking by myself, as I usually do. And there was a man following me. And that man had plans. Like, it was bad. And not like weapons or anything like that, but there was like certain things I can't even say that he was doing and things like that following me. I tried to call 911 in the middle of the woods by myself. The phone's not working. I tried to call my guy friend that I was living with at the time. That like we were roommates. It's not working. Okay, I'm in the middle of the woods and there's a grown man and I have no weapons on me at this time. I don't meditate, I hesitate, but yes, you were my weapon. That's a Kendrick Lamar quote, but that's literally what I did. Where in the moment, I was like, okay, I'm a tiny female and there is a man and he is coming after me. And just again, there's certain things I can't even say on this YouTube, but he was following me and had a plan. What I did was I created an energetic field and bubble in that moment where I just thought quick. I thought very quick. And I'm like, okay, 911's not working. My guy friend's not, like, there's no service, no nothing. I have to create an energetic bubble and I just have to trust it. And so I didn't even run out because, if you're running away from a person, they could chase you, silence you, blah, blah, blah. I made it known to him that I had no fear. Maybe 50 yards, I had to do this, of an energetic bubble. And I did that. I was like, oh, okay. Walking off the hiking trail slowly, like I'm not showing that I'm in fear, and he's following me the whole time. He never went over a certain, say like 20, 30 yards. After I created the energetic bubble, when I would stop and look back to see if he was still following me, he would stop. I would stop, he would stop. I would stop, he would stop. He never went over a certain thing, and I got out. And I don't know what happened after that, but that's just a example of I saw the effects of that energetic bubble. And was it the energetic bubble? I don't know. We can't prove that. But I know that I had no weapons. 911 was not working, and there was a man following me, and I'm by myself in the middle of the woods. And I got to create this bubble. I have to get out of here because this is the only thing that's going to save me right now. Whether it was that or not, or just God, whenever I stopped to look back to see if he was still following me, he would stop. He would never move forward. But I also, in that moment, I'm going to create this bubble, and that's going to save my life. Again, I don't know if it was that, but it's having that strong of an energetic field. I think of Tai Chi and some of these practices in like jujitsu, etc., which I was raised around. I'm not into it, but I was raised around a lot of that. And there's the power of force where if you own your energetic field, it does become a force where, you can just put a hand up and people can fall or this or that. And so it is a real thing where you create a strong enough energetic field, but also the belief in your energetic field, or it just in you and your sovereignty and authority. And, you can create this invisible energetic field that is, to the people outside of you, essentially like uneffable. Not that it's perfect, right? Not that you can't get a paper cut or this or that. Never to be in spiritual ego, but super not necessarily the label. I'm writing a piece called Birthright. Oh, I like that. I mentioned Birthright. Yeah, I do love that. Gregor Goro Tarot. Oh, I love the owl. Where's my owl? It's not showing here right now because it's a different angle. Thank you for the owl. You beautiful soul. I love you too. Can you do the same thing with sage? Yes. I actually don't recommend white sage. I feel like it's like that first thing that a lot of us see and use. They say it can actually sometimes invite spirits in. If you want to, like they actually use these in like the exorcism, like the removing entities and this and that. Blue sage, like blue desert sage, copal. That's what's used in like shamanic ceremonies where they're taking out like the darkest, densest kind of things. And so copal, blue desert sage is really good. Even cinnamon. And cinnamon simultaneously is going to also bring in prosperity. But I also use it for protection. I love using cinnamon. It's the element of fire. So you could even use cinnamon to connect with Archangel Michael, as Archangel Michael is the element of fire. And so is cinnamon. If you do an Archangel Michael candle, put cinnamon in it. And he's actually associated with that herb. And so cinnamon, yeah, Kalima, there we go with the Thoth Santana, Kalima. And it is the teachings of Kalima too, where she was by herself and, the battlefield, the demons and the enemies kept growing and growing and growing. She slayed them all, and again, symbolically, it's just asking us to own that inner warrior, right? Our inner truths, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. But again, like those of you that, maybe even go to work, like say you work at a hospital, that is a lot of energy. Oh my gosh, working at even like say working at a car place, you're dealing with working at the DMV as a light worker. For the most part, you're not working with happy people all day, People are projecting upon you in your work of what it is that you do. So I would say too, just anyone that has a job, a career that people project upon you on a daily basis. Again, nobody's ever happy with the DMV, right? Nobody's ever happy with this or with that, or like in the hospital, usually it's a crisis. People are in anxiety. They're looking actually to you to make them feel safe and better, in jobs and careers and environments like that, it's very important to have a daily routine. That's just going to be like, if you work there, have a daily routine where maybe things that you can to help absorb the energy, like the black tourmaline, like these necklaces and beads, they absorb energy as well. They're protective. So if you can wear anything as well, do that. I've shared before my tips of not picking up on energy when I travel. where I've been traveling now for a few years, like throughout all the USA, holding ceremonies. Puerto Rico, we have one 11/11 of next year holding shamanic ceremonies or just different types of ceremonies. In the beginning, traveling was way different than it is now, where I don't really go through too much karmic stuff while traveling of like, I lost all this and then this happened and then that happened. I don't go through those things anymore. But again, like I've learned to become proactive, where when I travel, I have a travel size 4-ounce Florida water, cascarilla water, this, that, where I'm just cleansing, clearing, if for those who absorb, practice being the observer. But again, when it comes to energy, just like an animal stares at another animal until it goes away, that's how I approach like entities' energy, where this is my energetic field and you own the territory, right? This is my territory. When an animal does it, it's sacred, right? And so for us, we are Homo sapiens, right? We are divine light beings experiencing humanness, right? Well, with that, we do kind of have that gift of a little bit of the animal kingdom. Again, like we eat, right? We protect each other, ourselves, our kin, right? And so it's like, this is my territory, like a sacred lion of God. And I'm going to sit here, and this is my territory. This is what we're going to do until somebody goes. But if it's your energetic field, you have every right to maintain that. Let's see what we have here. Thelema. I know you're referring to like, I don't know. It sounds like a thelema. Sounds like the golden dawn. I know like golden dawn is associated with that too. I know a lot about that stuff. However, I'm not in that stuff. I can say that out loud. I have crystals that feel good in my hand. Sea salt is good too. Yes, sea salt is so good too. I love it. Yeah, I have a sound bowl as well. My son knows how to do it too. I had a stomach ache the other day and he said, Mom, just go into the bath and get the bowls. And I was like, oh, but it's like just cute though to see too our kids of like that's a good thing. That means that they're watching us in a good way, right? Observing us in a good way that, oh, when he grows up, maybe he's going to think, oh, stomach ache, go get the Tibetan bowls, and take a bath or something like that. But yeah, the sound healing is good too for maintaining your energetic field. Get the bowls, the tuning forks are amazing too for getting like the frequencies, etc. So sound healing, even clapping around your house, even your energetic field, dancing. And I do dance sometimes, to cleanse and clear my energetic field where I see it as like wielding light, and you could dance intentionally, or go into a trance where your eyes are closed and you're just going as intuitively led, but you can cleanse and clear dancing, where it's intuitively with, say, you could even draw the Reiki symbol on your hand, just like you would do a Reiki session. Cleanse and clear your energetic field. So there's so many different ways to maintain it. And I would say the most important thing of, not allowing energy transfer is just to know that your energetic field is your own, but practice that. And over time you will see where it's like, whoa, like you could see, like, for example, that man in the woods, you could physically see that he can't go over a few steps, because he can't come into my energetic field. But you'll see that physically too. Yeah, and having a way, again, like every day to release energy, banishing, 111 banish, when it's like, say, like a negative energy entity, things like evil, negativity, things like that. Banishing is like, you gotta go and you cannot return. And you can also always use those words, you must leave my energetic field now and you must not return. And as you do that, you're setting that boundary of you have to go, but you also cannot come back. The Temple of Isis, they teach speech, logos, and words. And sometimes being specific with the prayers, etc., when it comes to energy transfer is really good. Where it's just like, nope, you have to leave my energetic field now, and you must not return, especially with entities. Now, when it comes to clearing entities from your energetic field, you could go on Google, look up Power Over the Seven Scorpions, Isis Oracle. And if you read over the prayer in there, it's like how to release entities from the first chakra all the way down, from the root chakra rather, all the way up to the crown. And it's something you could use at home, but it's even just something you could use all the time. Where in the prayer it says, thank you for your teaching. You must leave now and you must not return. And it's just a way of through love, not through force. And that in itself releases all of the energy. But yeah, for me, we block Brandon. Yeah, does anyone? Oh, thank you, NY Debs. Good morning to you, Divine Daniel. In a rut on a snow day, deciding what I'm going to do, career, soul mission going forward. Good morning. I forgot who it was, but it was on YouTube. The lady somewhere in South America and laid a special type of black stone supposedly cleanses your aura. Yeah, black stones, like any black stone is really good for transmuting. The color black is very transmuting and like repelling. It sets like a boundary. Black tourmaline. I'm thinking of obsidian, things like that. Those stones like that are awesome to wear like at work, You could even put black obsidian or tourmaline stones in each corner of your room. And that's what I would do working with Anubis. And it would kind of create like this energetic field of protection. So for example, say you live with someone, right? And it's just not great, their energy or whatever it may be. You can maintain your energy in a home with other people, like by doing something like that. You could even put eggs, but you have to change them more often and things like that. And then there's like the chance that they could break, but you can put eggs in each corner of the room too. And then you break them, and you change them out, I say every few days, week, whatever resonates, salt. So there's different ways to maintain those energetic, Let's see. Energy transfer. Magnesium's good for a cleanse too. Let's see. I don't know what they're saying about that comment, but I'll keep an eye out for that one too, if there's comments. I love visualizing like that. It's powerful, and it is powerful. Visualization is so important. If we can't visualize it, if we cannot imagine, right? Law of mentalism, all is the mind. If we can't imagine a new reality, if we can imagine it, then how does it come in? You are the co-creator, and next year is the year of the co-creators, the year of the horse, and it's understanding how powerful our mind is. What we thought was conspiracy theories years ago, right? Of like, hey, we're not using all of our DNA. Actually, most people are not using all of their brain. If we were, we would kind of be operating as like just pure source intelligence. I have chills as I say that too. It's a true thing, where we're not operating at our highest and we're all remembering that coming back home. I have purple aura. Yes, expanding it. Oh, like Bella, yes. You like when I start rapping? Oh gosh. I have a mixtape I've never released. I don't think I'd ever release that mixtape. I do have a High Priestess mixtape that I never released, don't ask, but it exists. Part of it was filmed with a recording artist in San Juan, Puerto Rico, all night in the middle of, I booked a 2-hour session with that man. We went 6 hours. We had a great time. I don't know what this is over here. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Yeah, feel free to mute any comments. If anyone's doing anything like just unnecessary, just mute it. They're just bots. Like there's like this is the open YouTube. It's just bots. Reiki and Chi, yes. I had to fight some crazy street lady the other week. I've seen more than one story of that. I have a story of that. This woman tried to come my way And should I even say it? She tried to come my way and she said, you know that I'm a bitch, right? And she got in my face. This was 3 years ago. And I looked her straight into, because I could, like, that was the entity energy in her where I was doing nothing wrong. I was helping her and I was just, I don't know what was going on. Crazily. I don't know. I don't like to use the word crazy either, but I looked her straight, like I went deep into her eyes, into her soul. And I said, you may act like that, but I don't. And she like went back and then went silent and then apologized, but like physically, as if like I pushed her and I did it. I looked her in her eyes and I said, maybe you're like that, but I'm not. And that was enough that she like just went back. And again, it's whatever spirit was operating through that, because I don't know what that was. But you know, when it does happen, you know, I had to find some crazy street lady the other week. She had a stone and was like, give me your keys. You know, and it's being mindful of the environments we're into, right? Giving consent, right? So say, for example, you know, you should not be in some sort of maybe underground, say, club, right? Like you should not be in that club. You should not be in that environment. There is nothing but alcohol there. There's nothing but this. There's nothing but a lot of maybe like a particular kind of person. And then you're there, you know, where yes, you could maintain your energetic field there, but then it's also of like, well, you kind of stepped into something, you know? And so part of it is like knowing thyself, but also knowing, and in the best way I can say this, where you don't belong, and not that you don't belong anywhere, like Yeshua Jesus. I actually like where this is going. Yeshua Jesus sat with prostitutes. He sat with this and that. Why? Because energy could not transfer to him. And he knew that. So that's why he didn't mind sitting with them. He didn't like, you know, he didn't see them as like the bad guy or this or that. You can't touch me. You're sitting next to me, but I'm just observing all of your energy, all of the entities, all of it, you know. Where like, you know, I see a lot of people sometimes of like, oh, that's bad energy or this or that. And maybe it is just from my shamanic like trainings, where we're not supposed to think that way as a light worker, as a spiritual coach or leader. There's no bad energy. You know, we're alchemists and we're only in charge of our own energy. Yes, what you believe, and then you enter your authority. Exactly. But if you believe that energy can come in, then it's going to come in. If you believe that you're being spiritually attacked, then you are, you know. Again, it's not to say that they don't exist, but sometimes it's not feeding it. Don't feed into it. And then it just repels against your energetic field. Because sometimes like it wants you to resonate with that frequency, right? So like energetic transfer, how do we avoid it? Don't resonate with the frequency. Say someone is in fear or in this or in that. Again, law of mentalism, they want you to stoop down to where they are frequency, then it matches, and then the energy comes in. This is my energy. I'm going to observe your energy, not absorb it. I'm going to observe your energy, but I'm standing very firm in this. And it's like believing that. So it's holding those sacred boundaries. But again, law of mentalism, it really starts in the mind, and then there's ways for us to maintain that. What is these comments? I don't know. Oh, I found it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lord have mercy. Thank you. I found it, y'all. I found it. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy on us all. I can't actually see those comments. Let's see. You got to let them comment though if you want me to do something. You got to let them. Because then I can't see it. My face stinks. Thank the Lord. What? I don't see your face. I hope it doesn't stink. Thank the Lord for your existence. Okay. This live is actually so peaceful. I love that. We're going to be getting into a reading in a moment for the chosen ones. Patreon gave us these topics. So for all of those that are here, feel free to join our Patreon. Every workshop I ever hold, so for a whole year, every workshop I ever hold, you get in for free. It's $7.77 a month or $33.33 a month for the Grimoire. So in the $33 tier, you get weekly rituals. We have, so for this week alone, you have a ritual, Gaja Lakshmi, the entire mantra is explain to you how to work with Lakshmi, especially with her elephant aspect when calling in abundance. We have a ritual for releasing shame and guilt. And I'm laughing a little bit because I gave it to both sides. Do you want to work with angels or do you want to work with Lilith? I got both for you. Where I have a ritual uploaded to Patreon. Again, that's the Grimoire. Grimoire is like a spell book, you know, in a sense. We have a ritual with Archangel Raphael to release shame and guilt. We also have one with Lilith of how do we approach working with Lilith. And that's only for those that are called. But she's amazing for release. Like if I think of releasing shame and guilt, she's the primary one. Lilith does not care. She has no shame. However, if you want to work with the angels, Archangel Raphael will come in the green light, you know, but if you want to work with like a god, goddess energy, Lilith, she has no shame and she's going to help you have no shame too. But all of that is there. We do have December 29th, an online event happening for the New Year's, talking about how to work with the energies of 2026. How do we get that magic already going? So feel free to join the Patreon. It's Blue Rose Mystery School. For our online mystery school community where there is no censorship. And that's really why we're there. Too much censorship when it comes to true spirituality, esoteric, mysticism, online on these algorithms. I just had a friend of over 10 years explode on me after she moved into my home. Oh my gosh. See, that's the thing about moving into homes. There was once 3 people asked to move into my home. And I put out to the universe, do not allow anyone that is not in alignment with me or that can bring me any form of whatever. 24 hours, they all were like, oh, never mind. Okay, I don't know. I do a lot to maintain the energy of this home. I know a lot of us, like, we really connect to the home. We connect to the land. She moved out and I saged just to get rid of the negative energy. Do you have any other suggestions? You could cut the cord with her too. Now, cutting the cord is not like banishing. You know, there was once that I did a cord cut with a friend that things actually got better after. Like things got way better. I was like, oh, wow. You know, so cutting cords is not always like releasing. Sometimes it does help and bring balance in that kind of way where things can improve. You're not getting rid of them. But you could cut the cords, especially if, you know, you've already known her for 10 years. Cutting the cord of, you know, mental, emotional pain, karmic cords, etc. Could have been something karmic that you both had to like mirror moving in. You know, she moved out and I saged. Yeah, so you could sage the apartment, maybe cut the cords, especially more if you're just feeling her. And then if anything, just start putting more of like your energy in. So like the energies, I'm seeing like cinnamon, you know, the color green, cloves, you know, you could do a home blessing where you could put cloves, you know, maybe get a candle and get a candle that lasts like a week or whatever it may be, and do a home cleansing and just, you know, it's your own energy, etc. And cloves are amazing for cleansing. You know, cloves, again, Palo Santo, cinnamon, things like that. Start putting your energy into it. Cleansing the doors would be awesome too. And that if you haven't done that already, cleansing the front and like back doors, things like that. Does anybody feel like when you're out in public, it feels like you're being hunted? Like when you're gifted, which we all are, but when you really do the spirit soul work, they notice you. Yeah, they notice you, you know. And again, for me, I was someone that years ago, like I couldn't really go outside, couldn't be around a lot of people. I worked to feel safer in my own energy because I am sensitive to energy. Sometimes it doesn't look like how sensitive I actually am, but it's just, again, like I just trained my mind that you could be right next to me. I could have no tools and you're still not going to come into my energetic field and touch me, you know. And so just like really working with my own truth, right? Me feeling safe, my own energy. In public, yeah, it's like, you could sometimes see the energies. I used to be a bartender and I can't be one anymore, even if I like needed to or wanted to, that I'm too sensitive, at least for like that kind of environment where all these people are drinking. You could see the entities, in this and that. And so, if you're feeling that way in public, again, just maintaining your energetic field, wearing what it is that you can to protect your energetic field, like those crystals. Again, the law of mentalism, knowing thyself is your greatest protection. But yeah, like maintaining that energetic field, especially when you're going out in public. I will just say, like right now, the public, it's just it's like a chaos, this, that, and so we can't avoid the public, but sometimes just having boundaries of like not going to places or things that are unnecessary, if that makes sense. Okay, let's see. Let's do that. Awesome. Blessings to you, NY Debs. Feel free to, NY Debs, feel free rather to email me for a 1-card reading. The email's in the box below of all the videos. God doesn't let us having access to gifts if we shouldn't. It's how we decide to use it. Yes. Thank you. Yes, thank you, NY Debs. Is your mix called Abundant Rose? That's not. It was called the High Priestess mixtape. There was like a few different songs on there. Don't ask. Remember, for like a while, people really wanted me to release it. I am not really. It's like, because I do a lot of satire, and it's just like ingrained in who I am. It was like spiritual satire rap. And it actually was pretty good and pretty funny, but maybe one day. Ooh, the Lilith is interesting. Yes, that's being uploaded today, as I had it uploading overnight, but we're going to upload it fully today. Archangel Raphael. But if you're looking for some like really true shadow work of releasing shame, it's going to be Lilith. Lilith is amazing for releasing shame. What is your back heritage? I grew up in a very mixed household. So I grew up in a very mixed culture household. It's our sanctuary. Interesting. The Book of Lilith. Oh, you just got that book by Lilith. Lilith is coming through. Jesus Christ too, right after that comment. Gang, gang. Jesus Christ, gang, gang, yes. Oh yeah, we do. We need Jesus Christ for real. Thank you for your readings. Thank you for being here. Thank you. We did a Pisces reading yesterday. It was super shocking. Just some feng shui. Yeah, feng shui, getting rid of stuff that you don't need. Yeah. When it comes to like, if you're moving things around, like releasing a roommate, do some feng shui, move things around, get in some plants, you don't have to do anything too crazy. Yes, I love cloves. I love using cloves. I'll just put them in candles. The charcoals. I'll get the charcoal. I'll burn a bunch of cloves on top of the charcoal. I was a waitress and dealt with drunken people. Yeah, that's something that I just don't think I could ever do ever again, even if I really needed to, was like bartending. I used to be a bartender. I just can't. I can't be around like drunk people every day for like a job and talking, or like you're talking to their entities and spirits, I can't do it. I can't mask for that. I'm also someone that stopped drinking years ago. I don't think drinking is bad. I don't think it's like necessarily a sin or anything. It's not bad if you have a drink every now, every now and then. But I'm someone that I don't really connect to alcohol at all. Even the glass of wine that I have here in my house, I've had it for over a year, and I really just give it for offerings for the ancestors. I think I maybe had like a little bit once, and it just ended up being offerings. And it's been over a year with a whole bottle of wine that is still present. Just recently. Oh, blessings to you. You lost your husband in September, Nikita, Remy of Nithika. And we do have actually rituals with Nithika on the Patreon. He's a Capricorn. Oh, yes. Take that time to heal. Take that time to really come home to yourself and finding that not new version, you know, but like who is this version of Nikita, you know, and then that person, you know, may come in that is in alignment with that version of you. But it also, this is bringing such a new version of you. Thank you, NY Debs, on point. Whenever I see that or even say it, like I just think of like a fine needle, like just right on there, right on point. Would be a lot keeping salt by the front door, especially. Yes. Yes, well, I'm thankful that you're here, Robin, truthfully. You know, we're entering now the year of the horse, you know, and if we, at least the way I see it is I really do see it from a long perspective of we're all walking each other home. I've been on here, this coming year is going to be 5 years, you know, like I'm thankful that there are people here, like this is family, you know, and I don't just say it as like someone online of like, oh, we're so family. You've seen, like, I'm very thankful, and there's no words that I can put into words of there are people that don't even know me that have seen infinite different versions of me for 5 years, and that's true family. And I have chills as I say that. I'm not going to cry, but like that's what family is. That is what a relationship is. You know, that is what unions and partnerships are. You're not getting that same version of that person when you're in a relationship with someone, a friendship, even family, even soul family. It's loving someone, and that's just even the love that I have for all of you, that, you know, that person that you meet right here, right now is not going to be the same person next year or even 5 years from now. And for, like, say, for example, Robin's been here for years. Like, Tiana, you've been here for years, you know, or us walking each other home. And it means so much to me that people that I don't even know your face. Some of you, I do know what you look like. Some of you, I don't. You're choosing to be connected in my energy, and I'm choosing you, you know, and this is all of our choice, you know, and I think that that's a very beautiful thing. And it's just someone from, you know, from this end that I don't take that for granted. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you, you know, and to me, this is family, you know, this is growth, it's evolution of all of us, you know, where sometimes I see in the comments every day, sometimes I don't. I have a soul brother that was in the comments every day for months, and then he's not, but it's okay because he's in my WhatsApp, and then he sends me a message today, you know, and so that's the journey, you know. I'm just so thankful. What's the spiritual practice called? I don't know exactly what you're referring to, but Temple of Isis is like a lineage. And that is a lineage that I'm initiated into. Isis, Osset, Osar, Osiris. So I am a priestess, a high priestess of the temples of Isis, Osiris, Kemetic names, Osar, Osset. My Kemetic name is She Who Loves Asar. It's a little bit longer. I do have a priestess name. You know, like we have names and stuff. I don't really, like, we can share them, but I don't really share them too much because to me, like, everything is meaningless. The labels are all meaningless. Rosalind is a actual priestess name for me as well in the Rose lineage. I used to dance on an 8-mile Detroit, and one guy I'd never seen before walked right up and he said, "Why is a lamb surrounded by wolves?" I like that. Ariana, so is that where Edelman sings about? All right. I started drinking when I was 14. Oh, yeah. Yep. You said that really quick. Yeah, no, that's my story too as a Pisces. Us Pisces can be escapists. I thank God that my soul contract was that I released all of that at a young age. That I wasn't an adult releasing all that, because by the time I got to 21, I stopped everything. Like I didn't want to do it anymore. I stopped everything. Most of everything I was doing was before the age of 21. Started drinking 14. And it's not great, right? That we speak of that from like, say, a medical space, like logical, affects the brain, things like that. You can work on that, bring your brain back, like we can, it's like slowing down the aging process, right? If you're someone who's done a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs, you can purge it out too. You could purge, because that's still like the damage could be in the cells, the DNA, things like that. You could purge all of that too in different ways. Thank you so much for your advice. You are a light to me. Thank you, Nikita. I keep almost calling you Nitika, but that's like the, it's an angel, Nitika. Yeah, we're all walking each other home. That's all. And we see someone going a different way. And then, we think they're a fool, like the fool card. And then we realize that they were going the right way. It's like, okay, all right, they're good. That's why I love you. Nicholas, wow. Nicholas, thank you for being here. It's my brother's name. Wow, really, thank you. Yeah, Nicholas, that's my brother's name. Thank you for being here. Yeah, thank you for being here too, Shy Ahi. Yeah, I started reading for just Pisces, and Pisces, you've got my heart. You've got my heart. So I'm always going to read for Pisces, how to connect with healing guides. All right, we're going to be doing a reading now for the chosen ones. Now that we got our mystery school teaching in, feel free to go to Patreon for all the uncensored teachings and videos and our ancient grimoire of different prayers, rituals, spells, etc. Do you have any guidance for someone who has to go no contact with their mother and family? Do I have any guidance? I can give some guidance of going no contact with mother and family, as I've done that before. And it can be a very painful journey, right? It's when you don't have the support of, say, mom or dad, and then your family. Some of us, we have journeys of healing with our families, where things are just whatever. You were born with a family that's supportive. Some of us will leave our families and come back. Some of us are walking away from our families and kind of from a more permanent place. And maybe that's not always going to be permanent. But what do we do when we have to go no contact with, say, mom, dad, or just our family? It's going to trigger the inner child. And so focusing on safety and healing, and reprogramming the mind, getting the voice of mom out of your mind, And so say if you have to go no contact with your own mother, getting the negative voice, the negative mother critic, right? The distorted mom's voice out of mind, or distorted father out of the mind. So it's like healing the inner child while you're in separation, reprogramming yourself to teach yourself that you were never wrong. Nothing was ever wrong with you, for the most part, not to say that we don't have to be accountable for the healing, but a lot of it's going to be reprogramming of like, nope, you were never too much. You were never wrong. You were never this or that. So it's like coming out of that, like the mental enslavement, right? Of being with a karmic family or karmic parent, especially when it's that bad. And then, for me, what helped me is, when you're taking a step away from family, connecting with the true divine mother and father energy. The divine mother is always compassionate, nurturing, and protective. If our mothers were not, they were not embodying the divine mother in that moment. And so it's, and that was like the reprogramming that I did, that was not the divine mother. Absolutely not. Like that was not, how do I word that? Yeah, just reprogramming, how a divine mother energy really feels like. And by connecting to the divine mother, Pachamama, the divine mother in ourselves and other people, or the divine father, which is not, neither one is abusive. It's loving, it's protective, etc. So reprogramming what mom and dad should feel like from a divine perspective. And then like creating your own realities, creating your own family and community, you know, where you're finding friends and soulmates and soul tribe that are soul aligned. And that helps you reprogramming the love, the unconditional love of family, where sometimes it is through soul family that they provide that unconditional love to teach us, you know, what it is that we should have maybe gotten from families, moms, dads, etc. Mario something cusp. And ourselves too, yes. All right, let's get in this reading for the chosen ones. Chosen ones, what do we need to know about that un-F-withable energetic field it is that you are creating? So we'll just talk about energetic transfer, you know, and you having that strong energetic field. What's going on? Let's talk about energy. What's going on with your energy, chosen ones? All right, Divine Mother, Divine Father, that Divine Mother, that Divine Father, and Holy Spirit of God. What do we have for the chosen ones today? All signs, it could be any zodiac sign, the 144,000 of the world, the chosen ones. What do we have for the chosen ones today? We're just going to get in the highest message. What do we have for the chosen ones? What do we have for the chosen ones today? What do we have for the chosen ones today? The secret, ecstasy, bliss, and belief. Unknown mysteries and wonders. Something good is coming in, chosen ones. We do have an astrology update for Patreon that's talking about a little bit of the upcoming transits of this week. We have some planets moving back into Sagittarius that were in Scorpio, etc. For the chosen ones, what is this secret? The unknown mysteries and wonders, ecstasy, bliss, and belief. Why the unknown, ecstasy, bliss, and belief? Think twice. Something might be better than you imagine. But let's see. We have think twice. When things seem so obvious, there may be more to it than the surface appears. Don't underestimate the situation. Think twice and explore it more deeply before taking action. You may have to approach it differently. Let's see what this is. The unknown mysteries and wonders for the chosen ones today. Why do we have the unknown, ecstasy, bliss, and belief? Angel of love, and you do have man holding a heart. There is someone here, collective. Now, this is for all of the chosen ones today. What do I mean by chosen? When I say chosen, I mean 144,000, those who are walking, walking in, you know, their divinity. Those who are children of the law of one. So when I say chosen, that's what I'm referring to. And I think everyone's chosen. You know, it's just us to remember and to align to that timeline, right? So we have angel of love, man holding a heart. Why do we have man holding a heart here for the chosen ones? Inner child and miracles, interesting. Is there no action needed? Interesting. Is there a miracle of safety happening? I love to see it happen. Miracles and inner child for the man holding a heart. Why do we have angel of love over here? Osiris, Asar. Is Osiris rising up? I have Hathor here. I never put Hathor here, so Hathor, Osiris may resonate with you. This is a resurrection over here. This is a heart opening. Let's see what this is. You have a miracle coming in. This is coming in from the heart space. And again, when it comes to your energetic field, what's the one chakra that goes this way? Your heart. And so if that's also another practice you can do. Imagine your heart light growing, but so much that it expands, and like which each breath, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it's an energetic field around you. And you can do that with your own heart light as well. Osiris and miracles. Something is coming in through the power of love. It's going to be a miracle. You don't see this quite happening yet. Or like, because it says think twice. Things seem so obvious. There's a miracle coming in. And again, we've been speaking of the law of mentalism. I've had that happen in my life so many times, where like miracle frequency, just because your reality is not showing that something's about to happen, say the blank is hitting the fan, keep it in your mind. Because it seems like whoever this resonates for, all of you chosen ones, your reality is not showing you the miracle that's about to come in. Oh, and I have a king cup. I don't usually have a king cup. I have a king cup today. All right, Osiris is coming through strong. But there's definitely a miracle coming in, and it's through your heart space that it's coming. Or you're calling it in from your heart. All right. What is this miracle? Why do we have man holding a heart? Think twice, angel of love. Why do we have the secret, the unknown, ecstasy, bliss, belief, and miracles? Why do we have miracles here? For the chosen ones, why do we have miracles? Why do we have miracles? And why the Ten of Swords? And why do we have the inner child here? We do have Knight of Pentacles. We have the Hermit card. I seek truth. Yeah, when we heal the inner child, our intuition gets better, right? That High Priest, High Priestess card. Why? Because we're not sensing a false sense of safety, right? So the inner child can get triggered of this, of that, of this, of that. But if we have a strong healed inner child, we always feel safe, right? And that's what I'm seeing here with the inner child. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Hermit card going within for some sort of miracle. There's something here where you're not going to see it in your outer reality. You're going to create it. Your outer reality may not reflect the miracle. I do see a complete ending here. I mean, Osiris, proper burial for freedom. That card comes to mind. 4. Why do we have Asar Osiris here? Why do we have Asar Osiris? Why do we have Asar Osiris over here? But you can rebuild. We have a lot of king energy here today. Okay, so a lot of divine masculine energy. This could be your inner divine masculine. You could resonate as a masculine energy. Control just your mind. Osiris Asar faced a lot of destruction, right, with his brother Set. For Osiris, we have the Tower card. It says, I can rebuild. 9 of Swords and the King of Cups. Why the King of Cups here for Osiris Asar? We have the Hermit card from the inner child reading part over here. The Hermit card, the Knight of Pentacles. Going within. That safety only comes from within. All right. This is an Asar reading, but this is more of a proper burial for freedom. Why do we have the Angel of Love? There goes the angel. I create harmony. Sometimes it's a blessing for things to be released, right? To end. A proper burial for freedom. That's the Osiris card. So you can also go on Google, type in proper burial for freedom, Isis Oracle. There's a prayer that comes with this. There's something that you're fully releasing, but it brings in the miracle. Say, for example, you lose your car. It's like, whoa, that's a big one, right? In your mind, you're going to automatically worry, right? This, and that. There's an ending that leads to the miracle, and that's what's coming through in this reading. When we have Asar over here, we have the Tower card, I can rebuild, King of Cups, and then the 9 of Swords, where there is some sort of like ending destruction here in some way, shape, or form. But it is asking for some sort of recreation. 4, the chosen ones. Why do we have the 2 of Swords for miracles and Osiris? Why the 2 of Swords for miracles and Osiris? Why the Two of Swords here for the miracle, for miracles and Osiris? Oh, Devil card. You were connected to someone over here. It could be a Libra. Why the Ace of Wands for miracles and Osiris? Why the Ten of Swords for, why the Ten of Swords and death for Osiris and miracles? It had to happen. Oh, there's something going on with relationships here. Why Knight of Swords, the Lover's card, and Eight of Pentacles for Ten of Swords and death? Interesting. And then why the Knight of Swords here? It's interesting here. That's the miracle. Miracles, Osiris, Asar. You have a relationship that comes in through destruction. Seven of Pentacles. You have the Ten of Pentacles here. But oh, you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing, ooh, 888 in the chat. As soon as I say this, this is definitely not witchcraft. I don't do witchcraft. I do consciousness. She's a... Oh, that comment is funny. I can't read that out loud. She's a blank in the what? Jesus Christ. I'm a priestess in the temple. And I'm a human in the streets. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. The comments are so funny sometimes. I'm hearing the words, but can you get through the initiation? Can you get to the end? Can you control your mind to see? And that's exactly what's happening here. Where there is destruction and there's a need to think twice. Where, yes, you have a Death card and Ten of Swords. You have a Ten of Pentacles at the same time. And a Seven of Pentacles, that something's going to yield to fruition. And what's coming through is, you know, sometimes your outer life is destroyed, right? Death card. Sometimes the Death card comes because the blessing requires, the miracle requires a different version of you. And that's what's coming through here. Where it's like, can you control your mind? Osiris over here, right? Can we not be in duality consciousness of like, but that's happening in my life and now that's happening. What I'm actually seeing here, yeah, was the Ace of Wands. Two of Wands is the initiation card and strength. And I'm just hearing the words of, again, life is the mystery school. And so when I read these things, I'm not always recommending that people do witchcraft and go into the temples and this and that. But life is already the mystery school, and you're being initiated all the time. This is like some sort of initiation here, where, like Empress, Page of Cups, you have the Devil card here. And then why the Empress? Why the Empress here? Choosing battles wisely. There was something you just had to take. Like, oh. Yeah, there was something you just had to, like, you just had to take it. Two of Pentacles with the Five of Swords here. There was some sort of karmic situation with someone here, and it led to a lot of difficult things in your life. And you ended up going, again, you ended up going through a lot from the connection with this person. Choosing battles wisely, this ended up leading to a Ten of Pentacles. So we do have the Tower card, again, I can rebuild. The World card, I am successful, Page of Wands. And what this reading is saying is, again, this is the mind of the initiate. And when I say life is the mystery school, sometimes life throws you a tower. Let us not always see it as a spiritual attack. I do see that there were endings in your life and some hard times. It only leads to a Ten of Pentacles. What's coming through, and that's Osiris Asar, right? Osiris represents resurrection. Osiris is the closest to God, say in Kemetic, right? He's the top of the Kemetic tree of life, Asar. He represents like the God body, someone fully embodied, right? That's what I'm seeing here, where whatever all this chaos, there was some sort of initiation through chaos, where you did go through things in your life, but it was more to bring a different version of you. And this Ten of Pentacles comes in. It's the kind of thing of like, can you see the initiation? And that's why I say all the things that I do of life is initiating you. And that's not always a spiritual attack. Actually, that was an opportunity for alchemy where you rise in consciousness and you got a whole bunch of blessings coming in. You know, and so looking at life, right, say from a mystery school perspective or consciousness, you did get Tower cards. I see a Ten of Swords and a Death card. That's a complete ending. But why did the Ten of Pentacles come right after? And I have chills on my crown as I say that. You know, where it's like knowing how to play the game of life, right? Knowing how to hack your own matrix. And that's what I'm seeing here, where yes, there's duality and like negativity. It only leads to a Ten of Pentacles. The Tower card is working for you. And I think of the law of octave, right? That's the Enneagram. And many of us know of the law of octave or the Enneagram as a personality or human design test. It is the spiritual law of success, where it explains all of your karmic cycles. You hit that tower, or in the law of octave, the Enneagram, when you hit that interval, that's a tower card that comes in and goes to your foundation. But that is part of the becoming. And so that, again, the mystery school stuff where not everything's duality. Not everything's a karmic cycle. Sometimes the Devil card, the Tower card, is not a karmic cycle in a bad way. If you know how to work with that energy, it's going to lead to your Ten of Pentacles or your success. So in mystery school teachings, the spiritual law of success, when that Tower card, when that interval comes in, you check the foundation, you strengthen it, the Ten of Pentacles comes in every time. We know how energy works, right? So that's what I'm seeing here, where there was a situation in your life that it's triggering the inner child, because the inner child is just like, it's frozen. Someone just sent me a message that said it's frozen. Don't go into freeze. And that is a nervous system response, right? Of freeze or fight or flight. But what comes after fight or flight is freeze. I have chills as I'm saying all of this. Someone said it's frozen. The inner child, when all of this stuff in this reading is happening, again, we said in the beginning of the reading, it feels like you're not meant to, like, don't trust what you're seeing in your reality right now. I see a miracle coming in. There is increased duality, but the miracle's coming in. It's asking you to see things from a different perspective. And like a diamond in the rough, or a diamond is formed under pressure, it's crystallizing you. It's making a different version of you under this pressure. But behind this Death card is a Ten of Pentacles. You know, but we're not meant to fear the Death card, as it's just transformation. So this feels like karmic fate. Again, and like the inner child, when he said, my friend Joseph said, it's frozen. You know, when the Ten of Swords and the Death card comes in at the same time, let's not freeze. Let's just pause. Let's rest, reflect, retreat. The Hermit card, right? Introspect and retreat. But you keep on going because that Ten of Pentacles is still there. Now, what's the advice for this reading for the collective? What is the advice for this reading? What is the advice? I do see that there is a way out. There's a way to change your circumstances. Why the Queen of Pentacles for advice for this reading? Why the Eight of Swords for advice for this reading? Why the Eight of Swords for advice? You feel like you're not having victory right now. You feel like you're not having victory, success. Why the Eight of Cups over here for advice? Be a fool. As soon as I'm getting a phone call. I don't know who this is though, so I'm not going to answer right away. It could be a spam. I don't know. I'm not leaving all of us for a spam call. So how do we give this no power, right? Because right now, say for example, you get a Ten of Swords and Death card at the same time. Who is it coming from? What is spiritually attacking me? This is initiation, is what I'm seeing. You feel like though, again, the inner child, if we could go deep into this, because I see that you removed the blockage. And the Fool card is like a childlike energy. And this is even being stoic, right? Six of Wands in reverse with the Eight of Swords. The blockages and obstacles in my life right now, how is it making me feel like I'm not successful? In what ways did I identify with that as being success? Ten of Swords, a Death card, say to my finances. In what ways did my finances create my identity, my self of worth and security? And that's the inner child work right there, which it's not to say that you don't need it. Like, I'm also like, we're not a delusional spiritualist of like, you don't need to do anything. You can just live your life and just breathe, and it'll just pay all your bills, and you'll just be full in your tummy if you just breathe. Where there's a balance. Because can you attract? I have attracted by doing nothing. I have attracted big things. But also there's the balance of like, it's, don't tell someone that like, they have a notice of like, you need to pay this by tomorrow. Don't tell them to just breathe. We need to take actions, but Six of Wands in reverse. This is you feeling not victorious, not successful. Eight of Swords. I feel stuck. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel secure and successful. But again, though, like if this is happening, in what ways did those things create my identity or create my safety, right? Where technically we can hold on to nothing. Say you work a 9 to 5. Technically, that's not yours, right? Technically, we can't hold on to it. We're used to having it every day, but we cannot hold on to things. And so when I release that, again, in what way did that kind of, again, give me some sort of security, identification? Why the Six of Wands in reverse with the Eight of Swords? Why the Six of... Oh, yeah. Stop worrying. You're fine. I love, like, the readings. Just when it does a judgment, you're going to be a King of Pentacles anyway. I love it. Because look, you were the Queen of Pentacles. Say this represents you secure in finances, secure in your life, and successful of what you feel is successful. And then all these things start happening. For some of you, they're about to stop happening. All of these things start happening for you. Death card, Ten of Swords. You can still have it in another way, in another form. And when these Ten of Swords or Death cards happen in our lives, right? And we have to release money, a job, a lover, a this or that. In what way did I identify with that? And in what way did that make me feel safe? Because I actually see judgment. I know my destiny. You get security right back. But it's a Death card in the sense of, I thought I would always hold on to that person or that 9 to 5 or that part of me. And Death card, that part of me is no longer. But you get it in a brand new version. And so that's what Spirit is saying, is it's not the end here. Life is the mystery school. And this is a big initiation here, where it's a lot of the mind, of worth, of the heart, of the inner child. You have security that comes right back to you. Judgment card, it's given right back to you, and that's God's judgment. I know my destiny. Ambition guides me to manifest prosperity and stability. But it's releasing control of like, again, the inner child. I thought I would always have that toy that I go to sleep with at night, that rabbit. And one day that toy was gone. But as an adult, it's the same thing, right? But it's kind of bigger when it's like, well, I thought that's how I pay my bills, right? It's not the stuffed rabbit anymore. Now, why the Fool card with the Eight of Cups? And the wheel turns for you. But when we approach life like the Fool, right? We're not dumb. We're not naive, but we can be as innocent as a child. And I'm going to approach this innocently. Again, not naive, not silly. I see you walking away from what no longer serves you, and it starts a brand new life for you. The Wheel of Fortune, I'm flexible. When it comes to soul destiny, and this is just a spiritual truth too, it's not always like the same thing or this or that. We're all meant to evolve and change. If you're part of my email newsletter, which is completely free, we've spoken about how, I've seen every one of my mentors has changed this year. Every mentor I ever had, if I go back and like look at their social media or check in, they're all on different paths or doing different things. We're meant to evolve in consciousness, and the world around us responds. And that's why I say chosen ones 144,000. You are the ones that are rising in consciousness, are choosing to. Our physical earth responds They talk about evolution of the earth. We are evolving in consciousness, and we're like doing this dance, right? But that's what I see here is things happen a different way, but it comes right back to you. It really does. You have a miracle on the way, and it's probably quicker than you think, but it's surrendering to that Ten of Swords of whatever this is bringing up for you. And why the Wheel of Fortune over here? Three of Pentacles. You have new stuff coming in. I am the Magician because you're a magician of God. You are a co-creator of all of these realms. And so the inner child can feel safe during times of transition and pain and healing because I'm going to get it right back. It's going to be in a higher form this time too, And that's what I'm seeing here. Now, what's final advice for this reading for the chosen ones? Patience. We have strength, which this is all of the Sekhmet Leo energy, because the solar plexus is Sekhmet. So if you resonate with Sekhmet, she's in the solar plexus. The solar plexus has everything to do with the inner child, with God's will, with our power in the world. Okay, so having patience and calling back your power, but part of it is knowing of even if there's destruction outside of me, I'm a co-creator of God, and I'm so capable of recreating whatever it is that I once had, and now a higher form. I'm going to read the comments now before we get to more cards of advice. Yeah, occult, I love that you worded it that way. Occult is just secrets. Yeah, secrets of the universe, of all religions. It's basically not even secrets, it's wisdom that is not easily accessible. And that's what the, like, say, occult is, or esoteric wisdom is. It's just wisdom that is not as easily accessible. You cannot walk into a mainstream religion like Abrahamic religions and get this. You can't go always even on TikTok and get certain things, right? And I would say that the internet is changing to a mesoteric place where it's no longer exoteric. The internet is now mesoteric. We're now, it's like the government's admitting that there's aliens and this and that. And before it was exoteric, right? But I'm seeing the internet becoming very mesoteric. And eventually I do think, we're all, these mystery schools are just, it's going to be like a common thing, right? You won't have to be like as in secret and this and that. People who have a problem with witchcraft don't know what it really is. It's a spiritual path and religion for some. There's nothing evil about it. Also, there's paganism with or without witchcraft. Oh yeah, there's every religion that people like demonize. You don't even have to do all the different things, that people think you have to do and this and that, There's so much more to these religions and mystery schools even than like, oh, it's just witchcraft. No, it's not. Like, there's actually so much beautiful things in community and healing or this or that. I have like a soul memory of before the term witch, where, when people say witch as in like, oh, they're a witch, I don't see it in that sense. I see that term came after like patriarchy and things like that, of shaming people for understanding that they had power over their own reality. So like the witch that's doing things to people, I'm not talking about her or him, I'm talking about the ones that are just like, oh, my energy's off. Let me get some cloves, or this or that. Let's see. Blue Rose, can you tell if plant medicine can talk to you? Oh, yes, they can, yeah. Plant medicine can definitely, like the spirits of plant medicines can talk. They can commune with you. You could talk to ayahuasca. A lot of times when a plant medicine is calling you, they're going to start to appear. So like say the toad, right? Say combo, which is fully legal in I think all states. Combo, the frog is going to appear to you months ahead of time. Like you're going to see frogs, you're going to see this, you're going to see that. Maybe tobacco is going to be coming up, like say, again, like ayahuasca, those retreats are going to keep coming up. You're going to keep seeing those reflections because that plant medicine is trying to speak to you. Oshun Messenger, I love your name. how cold it is. Yes. What's weird is tarot cards were invented in the 15th century and Egyptian religion was in BCE. Yeah, well, there's a lot to say about Egypt, where, like, the true Egypt is Kemet, ancient Kemet. There's a lot even with that, with like the Romans, and then there's like all the blending of things. There's the Golden Dawn of, what was his name? Crowley. That did a lot with the Egyptian lineage. I'm not saying whether it's bad or good. I don't know anything at all whatsoever. I have come across a lot of that energy and stuff. But again, I'm not, someone mentioned Thelema. I know a lot about it. I've come across a lot of high priests, and specifically men, not even the women, high priests of like Golden Dawn, Thelema. I know of those things. That is not necessarily what I would call my path. However, the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, which is a Golden Dawn ritual, that's pretty, anybody can use it, and that's a really good ritual. But I know of those things. Mostly even the stuff. I know a lot of things. Do I touch it? No. All right, so let's get some closing cards of advice. You have a 10 of Pentacles on the way, okay? 888 again, as I say that. So, and it says be patient again, you know, and sometimes it's trusting the duality. And it feels like that was a season, a cycle in your life where you were a diamond under pressure. And that the pressure is what makes the diamond. What I was seeing in the reading is that 10 of Pentacles comes with a whole different version of you. And so everything you went through, it changed your mind, right? It shifted your perspective in life. You're not the same person. And that 10 of Pentacles is coming in with that version of you. How do you stop an actual destiny swap attempt while happening? For me with destiny swap, I actually don't give it too much power. Where, especially as someone who's like online, and I mean, I have like almost 30,000. There's people who have way more than me, but even with 30,000 followers, or almost 30,000, you get a lot, like a lot. Yeah, in the comments, your emails. I have a TikTok account that people have told me about, that there's someone with 15,000 followers using my videos. You can report it as many times as I want to TikTok. They're not doing anything. Everybody else is reporting it. They're not doing anything. When it comes to soul destiny swap, to me, that is a spiritual crime. Soul destiny, you don't touch that. And so that's, for me, I use the law of mentalism. You know, of course, you do the protections, things like that. I never feed a destiny swap. It's not going to work, period. That's the law of mentalism right there. It's not going to work. You know, and again, as someone who has like I don't consider myself having a large following. Maybe to some people I do have a large following. I don't know. But as a larger following, you know, almost 30,000, it gets to the point where you don't even know who's trying to destiny swap with you. You know, again, I gave an example. There's an account with 15,000 followers only using my videos. Everybody's reporting it, you know, and that's a crime. To intentionally destiny swap with someone is an absolute crime. You have to do the work, and you also have your own soul blueprint, you know. And so for me with destiny swapping, the biggest thing is like, that's a spiritual law and crime, and you cannot do that. I've never seen it prosper. You know, again, you could see weapons form, but you never see it fully prosper. You know, and then I've actually come across situations too where some people are like, oh, they're trying to destiny swap with me. No, actually, you guys have a very similar destiny. I've seen that before. Where it's like, oh, actually, you guys have a very like similar path, but that person's not, say, destiny swapping, you know. But if you know and it's intentional, this and that, it's not going to last for long. You know, and again, it's having that, the law of mentalism. It's a personal boundary. You know, you can't do that. 144, as I say this, it just turned to 1 hour, 44 minutes. You know, it's a spiritual boundary, a personal boundary. And I would say it's it is a spiritual crime to try to alter someone's soul destiny. And so I don't feed into the energy or even tarot readings of, oh, they're trying to soul destiny swap with me. That's a spiritual crime. Why would you do that? You know, and that's more of the mindset that I get into of like, oh gosh, what's going to happen to, I don't even want to know what's going to happen. I'm not even going to feed into it, you know, because that person just wants you to be in fear, you know, and then it's not going to work, you know. And then you could also just do your protection, you know, as long as you have your protection, it's just not going to prosper. What's going on here now, spirit warrior? Not something I can answer in a chat. Oh gosh. LOL, soul contract is something you agree to before birth. Yeah, that's what soul contracts are. Yeah, we focused more on energy transfer. Soul contracts are like if energy can't be, you know, energy is infinite. And so say your soul didn't quite learn a lesson in the last lifetime, it may learn it in this way, right? And maybe it's like through that person, through that situation, that it learns that. And I have seen people I've cleared this from people, that they have contracts with entities that attack them through multiple people. And so sometimes it's not the person attacking you. You have an entity assigned to you that attacks you through multiple people. And usually it's like people of the lower mind, people who are not aware, conscious, alcohol, drugs. That entity will easily infiltrate that person. And that's why you have multiple people against you doing the same thing. You have an entity against you that's using those people. My crown is tingling as I say that. So for some people, maybe that is helpful too. That sometimes it's an entity. And I see this, again, I clear this from people. I do Akashic Records rituals, you know, so a lot of my rituals are actually like in the Akashic Records where I'm clearing out soul contracts, where it's not even like return to sender, this, that. No, we're closing out the contract that you have with that entity. It's never coming back, you know. Archangel Michael is awesome for that as well. Gypsy soul, I'm sending you so much love from my heart to yours. Thank you. Yes, NY Debs, if someone spams, feel free to hide them. You could just hide it. There's a lot of bots that come. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you for being here, Kim. And you could go do. We just got half the Bible in a chat. Oh, were people sending Bible quotes? Also true when it comes to no contact with control systems. People should start calling it alchemy. And that's what it is exactly. It's alchemy. Witch and witchcraft has been stigmatized and stripped of its proper perception. And I like that comment, the way that you worded that, because I agree that I don't like the term witch. You know, it's like I'm an alchemist, I'm a magician. You know, we bring alchemy. But if that's what somebody thinks, they could think that too. And we're still being shamed for our spirituality, unfortunately. Yeah. Jesus loves me so much. I love Jesus so much too. He's such a nice guy. Aliens. I just found my alien shirt. Not shirt, hat. I'm late to the chat. What can you share about spiritual attacks? Yeah, we're going to be getting off in just about 10 minutes or so. Let me grab some just final messages too. Just final messages for the chosen ones today. What do we have for the chosen ones? Final advice on that 10 of Pentacles, Archangel Michael trusting trusting seven, 777 as I say that. Somebody needs to hear trust in that 777. Okay? I love the advice that Spirit's giving us because it's confirming our entire reading of the inner child feeling safe. Archangel Michael, you're safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. Confirmation, a miracle is coming in for you. Cloak of wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. Yeah, when life throws you a death card and 10 of swords, again, sometimes it's like the blessing, the 10 of Pentacles, the miracle comes from that new version of you that the universe just wanted you to shift your perspective. And the blessing is brought to you. You know, it is delivered to you, it manifests for you. Someone tried to destiny swap, comes in many forms. It could come in many forms. Destiny swapping can also come in the form of you're not supposed to be doing what you're doing. I've had that happen before, you know, where it's just like, oh, you're not supposed to be doing what you're doing. That's also a destiny swap. They're trying to swap you out of it. I've seen people who, sometimes it's because they want your spot. They want your destiny. They're going to tell you that it's not. Oh, that's a trick question. Are you a saint? I am balanced. Now, the true definition of saint is someone who goes through a lineage. You go through all the way to come into enlightenment. You become a saint, right? But I am not perfect. I am also, I'm very balanced where I don't like the saint talk. I think sometimes the saints are absolutely blocked up, where it's like, I'm going to dress in all white and I'm a good person and I don't do any bad things at all. I don't even think bad things. I don't even look at bad things. But when it comes into your face, are you tempted or not? Where I oftentimes see people that are saints, it ends up being false light, where they're a saint, but they avoid so many different things and so many different people. And is it, you know, where it turns into avoidance of like the shadow, the dark, or duality. I think a saint is someone who could sit right in the middle, like, you know, the high priestess card. You could sit and you could look at the dark, you could look at the light, and you're still going to stay in the heart space. To me, that's a saint. Are you single? I'm in a relationship with God, the divine I am creator, the I am that I am. Confirmation. He's calling me, right? Just kidding. He's not calling me. That's actually my friend. That's not God. Well, it could be a God. It's my guy friend, but that's just my friend. I'm in a relationship with God. Actually, this tattoo here, so the infinity symbol. Infinity means so many different things. It's just a symbol that's been with me like all my life. This here represents my devotion to God and like my union with God and myself. And then after that is only when I will have a union with a physical man, divine masculine. But always first, higher self, God, my path, and there will be a divine masculine, a man, that aligns with my soul destiny and my spiritual path, that I don't have to come out of alignment with that, you know, of God's will. So, physically single until I'm not. Same here as I've become more aware, but also I just don't see again like the single. I feel very whole and in union. I've seen the people that have destiny and harvested energy. I will email. Yes, email me today. Feel free to. Well, you did an amazing job, NY Debs. I give so much thanks to you. Our brother Elijah is an awesome moderator as well. What's it called? And I can give you a 1-card reading. And your PayPal that YouTube. Oh, you know, I almost said that today. You know, and now YouTube takes more than 40%. I said nothing. YouTube takes more than 40%. But I said nothing. And NY Debs was saying that they were going to send something a different way because something takes a percentage out. It's much, much more than that. That's just what they say. I'm sad. Do you want to hug, Jeep? I'm getting a call over here. I'm getting a lot of calls. Do you want to hug, Jeep? I'll give you a hug. Agreed, but I can sense when someone's in my energy. Yeah, and I'm very sensitive to energy. So what I'll even do is I'll set an energetic field. And like it's like you're speaking to it to program, right? Just like you could speak to water. speaking to your energetic field. I don't want to feel anyone's energy right now. And sometimes I'll do that where I could kind of feel someone's energy. I don't want to feel any of their energy right now. Because I'm someone who could just always feel, and like, nope, not right now. I want to turn that part of my gift off. You know, and it's like setting that boundary, and still sometimes you might feel it a little bit, but not as much, you know, as you did before, etc. So you can always do that too. Elijah Empress, thank you for being here. Oshun Messenger, blessings to you. One of your favorite symbols. Yes, the messenger. Oh, and it's 555 in the chat. Don't do that to me. 555. Bless you, sister. I love your readings. Peekaboo, I see you. Spiritual pauses are good. Kalima te amo, yes. Oh, thank you, sister. The messenger, supreme messenger. Thank you. I receive. I'm sending you so much love too. Kalima te amo, yes, Kalima. I love how you're mixing the Hinduism with the Spanish te amo. All right, well, that's what I have for everyone today. We do have a lot that's going on the Patreon. All right, it was uploading through the night, so certain things were loading and stuff like that. We have for the Patreon today, let's see, channel members, you got your video yesterday. Archangel Raphael Shaman Guilt Ritual, for those of you who want to work more with the love and light. If you want to work with Lilith, as we got 777 in the chat over here, you don't, again, certain people I've seen like, no, don't talk about Lilith or Hades. Okay, only if you want to. Lilith, she's seen the way she's seen because she's the raw, primal, unfiltered version of you. Everything you deny in your subconscious is what Lilith represents, which is why most of us, of the world rather, because like I don't, and many of us don't, we don't, you know, they deny her because they're denying that part of themselves. The part of you that actually desires something, right? The part of you that actually wants something, that, you know, those raw primal parts of you. That's what she represents. And so she's amazing for releasing shame because Lilith has no shame. She'll just walk in, hello, I am here, and just start talking, you know? But she's kind of like your spiritual bestie with shadow work of like, oh, you don't got to hide nothing from me. Like that's Lilith, you know, where you'll really get work done with her because there's no need to hide or worry or this or that. Like she will not shame you in shadow work. You know, maybe some people may not be comfortable telling Jesus all these different things, you know, but Lilith doesn't care what's going on. She's just there to support you. And so we have those two that are being uploaded as well for tier 2, the ancient grimoire. Oh no, Jesus, Lilith. No, she's not. Someone just said Lilith is a demon. No, she's not. But she represents those parts of us, right? What is a wild, raw, primal unpart of us, a part that we deny? The more that we do not see, so like the more that we deny it, the more true it becomes for us. So like say, for example, even say sensuality, right? I'm denying the fact that I'm a sensual being at all. I'm just, you know, to me that's dirty and not good, and it means that you're whatever. And so say you completely deny it. It's actually still there. And because you're completely denying and ignoring it, because you feel that it's like dirty or this or that, we have a video on sin on the Patreon that also uploaded this week. So feel free to go watch our video on sin and what sin consciousness actually is. But like say, for example, right? That's why people, you know, you end up seeing that when people cheat on people, right? It was always there. It just became such a big shadow, and then eventually you did it or fell into a temptation or this or that, right? But if we explore all parts of our shadows, they don't control us. You know, they don't run us. Because if we don't integrate the shadow would run us. You know, yeah, Lilith. I've worked with Lilith a lot. There was one woman that was like, I feel like you are Lilith. That was like 6 years ago though. I do connect a lot with stakes and just naturally. So Lilith is very interesting. And again, there's a lot of stigma around her, even Hades, you know, but it represents every god or goddess, every deity in mystery school is archetypal consciousness. So Lilith would represent the part of you that you deny the most. Say that you actually really do love to dance, but you don't want anyone to know that. Say that you actually really do want a better life. You do want a soul-aligned reality, but you feel guilty for wanting more. It's like things like that that Lilith helps us with. Now, I will say, like, I don't light candles with Lilith, you know. I'm not lighting these black candles of Lilith, protect me from this person and this and that. From a shadow work perspective. What I've learned over the years too is that Scorpio rising and Scorpio 1 degree makes me seem, and I am a culty, but I think sometimes even more culty than I even am. Whereas they think I'm doing black candles with Hades and this and that. I've actually never lit a candle with Hades. For me, it's words, you know. So there's certain deities I've never lit candles with, but they operate through like words. I've seen Hades protect me instantly through words. You know, not always the witchy stuff and things like that. I'm very curious about the angels too. Yeah, Archangel Raphael's amazing for healing. Yeah, this with the snake and Sophia, people mix a lot of this stuff up, claiming they're bad when they're not. Yeah, I have 2 snakes in my house. One of them is Osiris. I've had Osiris for almost 5 years. Osiris was, I think, before YouTube. I think so. Or around the same time, actually. It was either around the same time or even before YouTube that I've had Osiris. He's a ball python. He's very sweet. Like, he doesn't, he's like, he has the personality of Osiris. Everyone who's ever met him says the same thing. He is like a Osiris in a snake. He acts like Osiris does. Personality to a T. The other one, though, I'm taking care of someone's snake right now. And yeah, snakes are very divine. Every animal to me, no animal is bad. Animals were created by God. They do what they do. Us humans, like, we think that we can control things. We come into an animal's place and we get upset when they're just doing how they're divinely designed to do, right? And that's similar to this entire talk of energy transfer with our energetic fields. Why are we upset? You know, or you can't get upset when the universe, right? There's a primal part of the universe that there's no judgment. It is what it is. And so you're in someone's energetic field, no judgment, get out, you know? There's that protection. There's the primal part of the universe in ourselves. Yes, Lilith is super transparent. I've never seen Lilith as, you know, scary or anything. You know, if you're doing your shadow work, even if someone were to like, oh, Lilith, go get her. Lilith is not going to come get you. You know, like Lilith is a shadow worker. And that's basically all that she is. But she does embody everything that you may deny, which is what makes her presence feel kind of uncomfortable. Maybe even like the first time, you know, it's everything that we deny. And so it's us symbolically, you know, facing that. Yes, many things have been demonized, you know, working with the ancestors, certain deities, this, that, you know, why is it? Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for being here. The energy since the eclipse and last it was the last supermoon. And remember that there's like 2 weeks left of the year. And so, or so, like 2.5 weeks. And so we're closing out the year of 9, everything we need to close out energetically. And we have the 12/12 portal in just a few days. We have the 12/12 portal in 2 days. And so there's a lot of higher frequencies coming into the collective. I know for me, I've been feeling the high frequencies, the ringing of ears, seeing certain things, feeling a lot of crystalline light just coming through my energetic field. And so some of you may also be feeling the 12/12 portal that's coming up. You got 30 boa constrictors. Can you please email me? My email is letsgohome7777@gmail.com. So it's 4 7s. I'm also probably going to change my email to 144 Blue Rose Temple finally. Like having a professional email of the actual name. Let's Go Home was like, it was even like a business that I had and everything of returning home, let's go home. And It's always been my thing, but that's just shifting. Oh, you're a breeder though. That's so cool. I know a few people who breed birds, which is one that I have now. I'm taking care of someone else's cockatiel. And I know people who breed like reptiles and things like that. Yeah, a snake that can't take the cold. The supermoon energy was a lot. All the protection I need is living in the I am present moment. Yeah. Yes, that's a cockatiel. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. I'm going to grab just one final message. Just one final message for all of the chosen ones. There goes the birdies. All right. The sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is also the womb for some if you have a womb. Archangel Ariel over here has a message for you too. Archangel Ariel can resonate with you. We do have door to spirit. All right. Now, the sacral chakra has everything to do with our emotions, with creative energy. And we do have door to spirit over here. So for some of you, you may even have kind of creative inspiration flowing through. Again, the 1212 portal is opening, so that can be it as well. But pay attention to the signs, to the patterns, to the different downloads coming through. And if inspiration or creativity strikes, take it. All right. So that's what I have for you. I do hope that it resonates in a positive way. Thank you all for being here today. We do have a few readings coming tomorrow. Go check out the Patreon, Blue Rose Mystery School. And if you want to book a private session or a personal reading, you could go to 144bluerosetemple.com. All right. Thank you for being here. I hope that you have a magical day and happy 1212 portal.